What is up, guys? We're back with another episode of Iron Fist Academy. And for this episode, we're going to be focusing on how to deal with a Penny, and especially when they have the rocket team up, which again, it just elevates their minefields. But before we get into the actual gameplay example, where I essentially go through my game facing a high-level Penny, and how I actually consistently perform in that game, and how I navigate through the minefields, I want to mention a very important technique that you have to be comfortable with when you're facing a Penny. Because there's not many pennies in high ranks, but when I was leveling up my alt account through the low ranks, I was noticing there's a lot of pennies, and they can get pretty annoying to the point where I decided I'll actually start banning it. It's just annoying to have to deal with it, but you can if you have to. And so an extremely important technique you have to be comfortable with is hovering over the supports as you're doing your attacks on your dive. So if I'm gonna dive this Luna and she's over a minefield, this is what I'm gonna do basically. I'm gonna go for my dive. I'm gonna stay above her head until I have to drop, and then I'm gonna drop on the mines on purpose, block to soak it for overhealth. And now I have 500 overhealth with my 30% damage reduction on my flurry punches. I could pummel the shit out of this Luna now, right? Because I have so much overhealth. And so now I'm good to stand, but then you also need to be aware of the next mines coming out. This is where you need to train your eye to watch for the mines, because you can see them, the next ones that are coming out. You should be good for a moment when you do block them and soak them all up. Enough to pummel the Luna a little bit, but you can watch for the next mines. Secondly, if you don't want to use your flurry punches, you can actually just stay midair. You go for your dive, and you stay on her head like this until you get to your kill. Then you go for your kill, and then once you land, you do your block. Now, you may need to block early, just because someone might peel, right? Let's say you go for your dive, and a Bucky turns around immediately. Block. Now, the Bucky's going to hit you, and hopefully you're moving your body into the mines as you block. But be careful you don't block too early, and then you walk into it, and the mines blow up when your block's over and you die. That could happen. Be careful of that. But hopefully they're shooting you, so you're getting the overhealth from the mines and them shooting you, and then you can burst down the healer, right? And then, or maybe you won't land the kill, maybe you'll have to retreat, whatever. But that's how you can survive, is you need to go in with the hover. You need to take the high ground where they can't see you and land with the hover, so you can get your first few hits off, cause that distraction that you're meant to do on Iron Fist. You can get all your value out despite the mines being there, and turn it to your advantage when you block it and get the overhealth. Because maybe no one will peel, but you'll have to fall anyways because you're running out of jumps to stay in the air, or maybe the Luna starts hitting you, right? Now you could use it to your advantage by not just getting the overhealth from the Luna hitting you, or the second support. Maybe it's an invisible one peeling. Now you get the overhealth from the mines as well, which is actually going to increase your engagement time. So you can turn it to your advantage. Anyways, let's get into the game now. So the first example in this game we're going to go on is an extremely good example of me going through the Penny minefield with full confidence chasing a support. So what happens here is I want to chase this Luna through this entire upgraded, because they have a rocket and a Penny. Or I think they might have just swapped off the rocket, because this is that's the upgraded power pack. Yeah, they must have just swapped off the rocket. But I'm going through an upgraded minefield here, and you notice I'm hovering off the ground. Why the hell is this camera speed so slow? There we go. I am hovering off the ground as I chase her, so the mines don't get me, and I'm staying above the ground, so I have complete confidence I could go through this field and not get blown up by the mines, just because I was confident there in my ability to hover. Now, if she stayed in the minefield and didn't run, now it was the right call to move backwards here. But if she stayed in here, what I would have done is I would have dropped down, walked towards the mines with my block up, soaked all of them and got the overhealth. And then whether I engaged in the Luna or not depends on other factors in the dive, basically. Like, is my team here? Is she getting peeled? Blah, blah, blah. But I would have gotten a lot of overhealth, basically 450, 475 the max, and I would have started attacking her until I felt like I had to retreat. But I had complete confidence when I was going through here, so I was able to follow her through without taking a single hit from the mines because of the hovering. You need to get very confident with your ability to hover through the minefields and track a support from the air. Now, here's another, again, very brazen example of me just walking through the minefield. So I have my flurry punches up. Plus, I have 400 overhealth. That is a lot of health. Because of the 30% damage reduction, it's effectively over 500 health. It is a lot of health. And so I am chasing the Penny on the ground. You notice I did one jump there. just to be safe. I'm chasing the Penny through because I can see that there are no visible mines. This is, again, where you have to train yourself against these minefields. I'm looking and I'm not seeing any mines because the mines are very big. You can see the mines. They're just now being launched from the Spire thing. I can actually see them. And I'm consistently jumping as I go as well. And so you see, I just keep going through the minefield, basically. And I don't take any damage at all. And the Penny even dies. I just chased her straight through the minefield because I was confident with the amount of health I had that even if I did get dinged by one mine by accident, I would still survive. If I did not have my flurry punches up and I had 300 health, I would have hovered instead. I would have hovered. But because I had 400 plus, I had the flurry punches, I decided to follow through, and I was watching for mines. Now, if I saw mines, I would have temporarily jumped over them and continued pursuing the Penny. I would not have backed away. I would have continued pursuing the Penny. I just would have jumped over the mines. So here's another example of I'm going for my ult in a minefield, essentially. You can see the Penny webs everywhere. I believe she just ulted. Also, she has her nest out. Now, what I do is the moment I land, because I can see where the minefield is. It's right down there, right? Now, I can't see if there's mines. So the moment I land here, I pop my block just to make sure I soak up whatever mines are right there. And then I'm like, okay, I have 450 health. I am jumping, even still with all this health, I am jumping as I go. And I'm consistently looking for mines, and then I end up going out of the minefield. But always watch for the mines in the minefield you're in, because you can see them. You can see them. They are visible, and use them to your advantage. Block to get that over health. So here's another example where, again, I fly on top of them. Now, in this specific case, so let's see what happens. So I land on top of the Penny, and I stay on her head as I'm hitting her. Now, I'm not trying to dive the back line here. Why? Because we have a Groot on my team who walls off tanks. I'm blocking, I'm getting my overhealth, and I'm going back to the front line to punish their tanks, who, as you can see right there, my Groot then walls off. That's in this specific case what I'm trying to do. However, the most important thing I was trying to show you there was when I landed, again, land on their head, be confident in get confident in your ability to hover on top of them. It is so important that you're able to get comfortable with the hovering in your dives. So one more, I think this is a very good example here. A Penny is setting up for a flank. The cart is pretty far away. I'm like, you know what? Our teams aren't really engaged yet. I'm going to try to get this Penny out of here. Now she's setting up a minefield. So what I do is, again, I'm confident in my ability to look for the mines as well as my health. I jump in with my, after I've blocked, and I have 500 health. I have a lot of fucking health, okay? So when I go in, now she does get the stun. I'm moving to the edge because the mines come from the center. I'm watching the mines. Now, if I get hit by one or two, it's not that big of a deal because I have a lot of health. And I do get hit by the little mines, and it barely does any damage to me. But then I realize she's getting healed. I'm not going to get the kill. I leave the room, but I still don't want to give up this flank to the Penny. So I go back up. I meditate. I'm gonna bother her again, basically. I start my engage on her once again. This time I go in and I block those mines. I block the mines and I get my 500 overhealth. And then I go to, now sadly, someone else comes to peel. But if this IronFist did not come to peel, I would have stayed and I would have broke the mines. Instead, I leave and I think I kick back to my team. Actually, I might have died here. But basically what I was doing here is if that IronFist did not come to peel, what I would have done is I would have been able to break the mines. Block, get that over health, and then go for the mines. The Penny will not kill you. She has very low damage. She'll not kill you in the time it takes you to kill that the nest if you block the mines, because then you'll get so much over health, right? So even if I stayed here and did a kamikaze with both of them hitting me, I still would have killed the mines before I died. But again, the IronFist is there, so I had to retreat. I couldn't stay. But if the IronFist is not there, I would have killed the mines, and there's the minefield gone. But that's, again, another example of how you could go, and if there's a Penny flanking, setting up behind your team, you can engage her in that minefield-riddled room using this method. Go in, block the mines. And then once you block the mines, sometimes you don't even need to break the minefield. If you're confident enough that you could start damaging the Penny, and then when the mines come out, you could jump and dodge it and weave, and you'll force her to retreat by getting her low enough, or maybe there's another DPS helping you, or maybe she's already low. You could deal with the flanking Penny very, very, very well. So let me show one last example of how I navigate through the minefields on the battlefield. So I'm approaching the enemy team, and I want to go and attack the front line, but there are mines there. So again, I jump over it, and I used my right click. Now, I think I actually didn't block the mines quite, but I thought they were going to hit me, and I wanted to use them. So I actually kind of missed the extra overhealth here. But I was planning on taking the hits on purpose to get that overhealth. I actually think I just missed it here. But assuming I didn't bluff it, I didn't whiff it there, I would have had 475 overhealth, enough to completely pummel and shred these tanks. So now I'm like, okay, I have 280 overhealth. I'm not confident pursuing the tank into this minefield right now. So I back out. See, yeah, look how quickly I took damage. There's just too many. I back out, and once I get up to 300 health again, I go back in to pummel them, and then I back out again because I can't follow the Penny in there without my block and my overhealth. It's just too risky right now. I go for my meditate, prepare to engage again. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, turn on the bell for notifications so you can see when my next video is. And thank you to all my donors and people that become members and Twitch subs and all that. It really means a lot. I got lots more content coming on the way for just more tip videos in general, and more VOD reviews of myself to show you kind of my games that go really, really well, what I'm doing right. Because, you know, I'm not, you know, the most consistent player in the world. I have some bad games, right? But I think it's helpful for a lot of you out there if I go through some of my best games and show you why I did what I did when I was really locked in. Because I know there's probably a lot of you guys watching that have the potential to be even better than me someday, and more consistent as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, take care.